Good day, everyone. Welcome to today's stream. So, where are we today? It's Saturday morning. Just 3 minutes to go until 7 a.m. It's an early start, just how I like it. I got my coffee already. I got my screen up in front of me. I'm almost ready to play some Flesh and Blood. So today, I'll be initially online for about 2 hours. I hope to make it back online a bit later on. I can't promise that. There's some real life stuff that I have to deal with today and get out of the way, and that's going to take a couple of hours. So it'll probably take me beyond my usual stream time. So we'll see if I can come back online my afternoon, or if we're going to do a bit of a longer stream tomorrow. I do want to try if I can do a bit of a longer stream and what that feels like and what that does, and if more people find their way here. And what happens with my stamina as well. I'm playing so many games in a row. There's a lot of thinking going on with Flesh and Blood. There is uh, there is a bit of fatigue that comes in, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll take it bit by bit. We'll just play a couple of games now. We'll see where it goes. So, where are we with the challenge? Just as a reminder, my goal is to play 10 games of every single hero that is not Living Legend in terms to improve my overall understanding of the game and how I play. I want to do this because I put it in my head that I want to qualify for Pro Tour Amsterdam. And so far, I'm pretty far away from that. There's a lot that I still need to do to get there, and I have time. So, Procast season is still a bit in the future. I looked at the days. I think a week ago it was 161 days, about mid next week. So we're probably still at about 150 days to make that happen. So still plenty of time. So far, we've played Bravo, we've played Missouri, and we've played Prism Awakener of Soul. We've also sprinkled in a game of Levia that was recommended to me or given to me by a viewer yesterday, Hex Core List. That was a lot of fun to play, honestly. It got a bit out of hands towards the end. I think the list made a pretty good start. It was fun to play. But yeah, then once I had to redeem and flip Levia, I think it definitely that was a turning point where I lost the game. I think it was a turn or so where I had to take a lot of blood debt, and as it happens with Levia. Also, I'm never sure if it's called Levia or Levia. I used to call her Levia. I think it's Levia. Um, no matter what school of thought you sign up to here, I think we can all agree that she is a cool hero. She is a decent hero. She's a pretty hard hero to play. So I'm not sure I want to go back to her right now. I do have a bit of experience on her, as I am mainly a brute player, so I think just playing her um, would be a cop out at this point. So what I want to see, I think what I'll do, void of anybody here giving me an advice on what I should play next, I think I want to try Azalea and see where that goes. Unless somebody's here and that have very strong feelings about what I should play next, then please put it in the chat. I'm absolutely open to play a hero that you want to see. Um, Basically, anything that I have on the list here, these are the lists that I have. I could also play something else, a list that I don't have, if you have anything to share. And while we're at it and we're doing the introduction part of the stream, I also have some really cool idea about where we're taking the stream. I'm thinking about opening packs if I want a game, stuff like that, letting people vote on what kind of decks to play, playing jank decks, or even going into weird challenges to win a game with, I don't know, a hero that usually uses a weapon without the weapon, or all blues, or anything like that. it's like weird ideas of deck builds and just trying to win a game with it. Um, Play 3 games, something like that, and then see if we can win a game and maybe put a bit of rewards against that. Maybe raffle something away in the community, something like that. But for now, I have very little experience on Rangers. The only Ranger that I've ever played has been Riptides that I like a lot, but I didn't really pursue it further because Reiner at that point when Riptide came out was already a hero, which I played a lot, that didn't do very well, and I didn't need to go into another hero that looked like they weren't up there for power. So I thought if I go into another hero, I might as well go into a hero that does better than Rhino. So I don't have Riptide at the moment, though. I have Riptide list. I don't know if there's a decent Riptide list out there for CC. So instead, I think I'll just start my weekend with a game of Azalea. I know she can do pretty powerful things, and I'm usually on the receiving end of that, but we'll see if we can turn that around. So let's just put the streaming name in here. Just make everybody aware that they queue up against me that they are going to be on stream, and then we create this game, and we're on our way. So I generally know what Ranger or Azalea wants to do. They want to send big dominated arrows, ideally with a detrimental effect to the opponent. So you want to play things like Remorseless, where every card they play they need to pay another life, or a Red in the Ledger, where they can only have one action. The Dead Eye is absolutely terrible. I detest that card when I'm on the receiving end. So if it has aim counter, when this hits a hero, look at their card and choose a card, they discard it. That's absolutely terrible. But I think this list here doesn't place anything that gives aim counters, which I think there's a bow that's Sand Scour something something. Is the bow that you need to equip to give those aim counters, and that is not this bow. So that dealer works once per turn action, costs 1 if you have no cards in your arsenal. You may put an arrow from your hand face up into your arsenal, and if you do, draw a card, go again. Right, so I think I want to start every single game by just checking the top of my deck, see what I have there. If it's an arrow, then I could potentially dominate it. I then use her ability to put it into arsenal. Um, but I need to put the card from Arsenal at the bottom of my deck. Um, and against Dominate if it's being put there. And I think
Okay. I think I just realized I was talking to myself all this time and audio wasn't on. So that's a fun thing. Uh, um, interesting. So I hope audio is on now. So I want to get bolt and shot back, sync this, and then just bolt and shot. Yes, we've sorted out the audio issue, and we're now here. That's good. Um, I wish I figured that out a bit earlier, that I had the settings the wrong way around. But applause for me for figuring this out. Okay, so Remorseless is a good card. I can see why that's in Arsenal. Withering Shot, not a terrible thing from my side. I think I could just try and go really wide here. Azalea doesn't really want to block a lot, so I think this will be a shooting match to see who can do more with more detrimental impact. Okay, so inertia, fine. That's okay, that's not too bad, but that's +3/+3, so that we're up at 11 now. 10. My math is... Oh, because frailty, 10. Alright. Okay, can I do more? That's a big question. I can do 5 plus 3. Yeah, I can't do more. And if I let it hit, I have an inertia. But I could potentially do bolt and shots, rain races. I mean, let's take it. Let's take the 10. We'll go down to 30. We're almost even Steven. And we'll see where it goes. Alright, so audio was off at the start of the stream, so just to reiterate, I've never really played Azalea, maybe an odd game here and there. So yeah. So I'm going to turn a face down card in your arsenal face up, opt. So I'm going to do that. And that is a lace with inertia. And what's the first down? Okay. So leave that on top. And then put a card from your arsenal at the bottom of your deck. If you do, put the top card of your deck face up into arsenal. If it's an arrow card, it gains dominate until the end of your turn. Okay, so that could be good. I could give the bolt and shot a bit more oomph. Or I can leave it there. I think that's fine as well. I'm not going to be able to... I'm just thinking out loud here. No, I think I'm going to be able to maximize this hand. Okay, so let me think about this quickly. I don't have a go. No, I'm not going to have go again. Okay, so yeah, this is not... I didn't make the right decision here. I can still do that, right? So this, put sleep dart, put bolt and shot in arsenal, then shoot bolt and shot, pass. I mean, it's 12, and I'm going to put the rain razors on top of that because I have inertia and I need to get rid of the card anyway. So I think this is pretty good, all in all. They can't block it out. There's a, well, so yeah, they're not gonna. So it's 10, and there's going to be another 2 with blood rot. Inertia is going to get rid of their cards in arsenal, so that's good. I'd love not to use the rain razors here, but I have inertia myself. It does go to the bottom of the deck, so maybe I do not play that. So instead of just putting like an additional 2, I think there might be more value in this later. That would be assuming that I'm getting to the bottom of my deck, which I am not. It's just not going to happen. There's no way this goes far enough in the game that I actually will get to the bottom of my deck. That's, it's not. So why keep it around? Okay, so we have them doing their thing, so that's 5. Okay, they could potentially shoot that and go again, but they have a 3-card hand. That's not that threatening. So what do we do here? We have 2 arrows and a buff. Because it's not going to be an extremely good turn on our side. I actually don't know what Crow's Nest does. When you put up in your arsenal, you put an aim counter. Okay. Right, good. So that's, remember that card that I mentioned early on that you have to discard a card if it hits? That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Okay, that's coming quite big. So it's gonna be, give me a blood rot. Okay. So the question is, can I maximize the use of my hand here? So battering bolt. So I can do Seek and Destroy into battering bolt, which will cost 3 if I look at that correctly. So that'll be 9. So they're doing 9 dominate. I mean, I'm not gonna give you a card here, dude. It's just like, it is what it is. I'll take the 9 dominate. This game is not going to time. It's very different from some of the other games I played this week. But that just means we'll get more games in. Just checking on the audio again there. I don't want to be caught out by not having audio on again. I think I need to make a note on my microphone when is audio on and when audio is off. That would be helpful. Like a big post-it just on the screen there saying, when the dot is solid, the microphone is on. When the dot is blinking, you are on mute. One would think that after a week of streaming almost every day that I've got it figured out, but it doesn't look like it. Live and learn, live and learn. Move on. Don't get hung up on it. We'll learn from it. Cool. So that brings me down to 18. They're at 24. I think because I had the second turn and I could already do like some damage to them on turn 2, I kind of got a leg up here. And I might actually be threatening lethal faster than they are. So Seek and Destroy. What is more detrimental to them here, right? Is it Drill Shot? I don't think so. Battering Bolt. Okay. So, but they're not going to, I don't think Battering Bolt is going to trigger, but it's a 6 attack. So it's, I'm just thinking about how much damage can I do. So I think I might not play Battering Bolt because I don't think it's going to do a lot. I don't think it is. So I think instead I'm going to play Death Dealer. Pitching. Did I do this the correct way? Yes. Okay, good. So I'm going to Seek and Destroy. Pass. I could almost pay for the Blood Rot. Almost. Just not quite. So there's 2 blocks sitting there. Pass. So I'm going to go 7, push it, +2 is 9 as well. So there, the exchange on live, I'm down. I'm not in a good spot here, but I think I'm gonna be able to take a block of their Spring Tunic, and that's what I want to do. I think the skull bone is so important for the game plan and going into late game to try and find that card to dominate that they they will not block with that until it's way too late anyway. It'll be a Hail Mary, at which point the game will probably be lost anyway. So I don't think that'll make a difference. So the question then is how much damage I can present next turn. Okay, so they're blocking for 9. So the Rain Races doesn't make any sense here. What can I do? Doesn't really... Okay, I mean, in that case, that's good. So I'll take that block. I'll pass. And then I'll use the 2 yellow cards to get rid of the Blood Rot. Because they're not going to be doing anything. They might have a... So I want to order this the right way. Yeah, that's the way. They probably... Oh, no, that's not. They have a... I'm assuming they have a Codex in hand. And they're going to go 0 cost card into their arsenal and going to shoot that at me. I think that's what they're going to do. That will make sense. Well, we'll see. The coffee is definitely waking me up now, which is good. And I have to say, while I'm just looking, checking the stream here, the bar under... There's some stuff not working. There should be a fancy little bar around my webcam. So I need to check my stream setup better the next time before I go live. It's not a huge thing, but I think just need to get into the rhythm more of making sure everything is working as it should. I think I understand why. I'll figure that out afterwards. Okay, so what do we do here? I think we play... We load Bolt and Shot. We lace it with Frailty. We Seek and Destroy. To give it go again, we do go to Codex of Frailty. And we get something spicy. Do we have... Like we have a... We can probably load like a 1-cost arrow. Do we have one? We have a Drill Shot. So I think that's a good target. Or we can just have a Bolt and Shot. It doesn't make much difference. Okay. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay. So we'll do Death Dealer. Oh, that costs 1. Okay, so never mind then. Okay, I have to pitch the Codex. I feel suddenly I'm behind in this game. Like, they maintained a 5-card hand. They're at 22 life. I'm at 18. I was hoping I was going to be able to do significant damage last turn, which didn't happen. But, you know, let's see. So we're going to... I have a red in the ledger here, but I have no way of loading that. Well, it's something for next turn, right? So Seek and Destroy. So they need to, they need to play out their full hand. So it's just giving them some time to think about that. And then I'll lace it with Frailty. And then just shoot the Bolt and Shot. I should probably play Codex first. Yeah. It needs me to... The reason I didn't do that was that I need to discard a card. And if I play it the other way around, I don't lose a card. But because I need to pay for Death Dealer, I mean, at the end of the day, it's probably the same math. So the question then is the arrow that I could have gotten from the graveyard, would have that been better for my turn? Probably, because Bolt and Shot only does 2. And if I got like a 4 damage arrow, then I could have done more damage and make the blocking for them way harder. So I think that would have been the right thing to do. I could be cheeky and just blind Azalea, but I don't think we're not at that part of the game. Would have been nice drawing into another Codex, then that go again would actually matter. But alas, it was not meant to be. Doesn't matter. Okay, so we're going to be 3 plus 3 plus 2. So that's coming in for an 8. It's good because if they want to block it, they need 3 cards, and they're going to be left with 2 cards. But I don't think the on-hit effects here are that bad for them, so they're probably not going to block this. I wouldn't expect this to be blocked. It's just an 8 damage, which takes them down to 16, I believe. It's just okay. I don't think they can do 18 damage in my turn. Not unless they have a god hand. So I think I should be good. I need to craft a pretty good 5-card hand, and then I should be able. 16 is probably asking a bit much as well. So I need to be careful how much damage I take here on this next turn. It could very well be that if I take too much damage and they block again and come just with a little chip damage here, a little chip damage there, that I put myself into a position where I need to start blocking with the majority of my cards. And if that happens, then suddenly they gain the momentum. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure on it. Okay. I didn't. What? What do I miss? Does Bolt and Shot actually? Oh, reload, of course. Reload. Okay, so cool, good. So that turn actually worked out, even though I didn't really realize it. Because now I fall 8 with 5, that's 13, and this is Red in the Ledger is definitely a card I don't want to block. So I got them to a life total lower than mine, and I got them down to a 3-card hand. Okay, he's saying he's lucky. But yeah, it's not because I played well. He got lucky because I played it bad. Okay, so what do we craft here? Okay, so they're going to play Codex, which means also we're going to have to discard one and put a card in hand. Alright, so they choose first, and then it'll priority go over to me. And I can choose something. What do I want to choose? That is the big question. What can I do with my turn? I think I wish I had the red bolt and shot. Oh, I do. Wait. I do. I just didn't see it. So I think I want to do a red... What? Okay, they're choosing a different card. Sometimes Talshot does really weird things really quick, where things come and go and turn over, and you never know. You're never sure why that is happening. Okay, so Ponder, Frailty. Yeah, that makes sense. I have a Frailty. So, but I should be able to choose a card now, right? Yes, thank you. So I'll choose a Bolt and Shot. Is that the right thing to choose? Or Red in the Ledger? I think I'll pick Red in the Ledger. I think that makes sense. And that'll cost 1. So... What? It's not a great hand, is it? Okay, I'm gonna use Bolt and Shot here. I think instead I want to use Knock the Death Whistle to give my go look for something and give my next attack guaranteed go again. But it depends what they do here. This could be quite bad. I mean, they went looking for a good card. So it's laced with Blood Rot. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So that's for 7. Can I block this and just attack for 5? Yes. I think I just want to block this out. Take a turn off. Because I don't think taking this 7 and only having one action and a blood rot puts me in a good position. So I'm going to block this for 8. And then with my tunic, I'm going to play red in the ledger, send 5 of them, reset, and come back next turn. So they're not going to be able... So the way that this is ordered, so Seek and Destroy triggers first. So at the end of the turn, when you have triggers like this, you can choose in which order you want to have them trigger. And the way that I did it, the Ponder triggered after the Seek and Destroy, I think, or whatever that was. And that means that they can still put a card in Arsenal, which is very good for them, right? Obviously. It's a 5-cat hand now. Alright, red in the ledger for 4. See what they do with that. If they want to go big and they want to do something significant to me, then they don't want to let that hit. They have no counters on Spring Tunic. So I could potentially see that where we are in the game at the moment, that they use Tunic and 1 card from hand to block it, and then still come at me with a 4-card hand. It really depends on what they have, but I think that's a valid scenario of something that could happen. If they don't block it, they can't use Snapdragons. They can't gain... Well, they can get Go Again, but they can't play anything else. So, yeah, they're just going to fully block. So I think they're assuming that the game is going to go long enough that another Spring Tunic counter is actually going to matter. I'm not sure I agree. We're turn 5. We're at 14 to 18. I don't think this will go to a point where we'll have another 3 turns. I find that hard to believe. But we'll see. I mean, you know, this could turn into a slugfest. If none of us is really able to dominate their arrows, it could go a long time. It's not my game plan. I don't aim to play this grindy. So I have an infecting shot, release the tension. I don't think they're running defense reaction, so this doesn't matter. Premeditate. The problem is I'm going to need to pay 2 here to be able to actually play the infecting shot, so it's going to be coming for 8, which is not very good. So they have a bolt and shot for 2. Okay, it's currently not... doesn't have any effects yet. There's no pump for it. So we'll see what they do. Just waiting. Put a card on top of the deck. Okay, so is it a good card then that they want to switch in and dominate? Just okay, we'll see. Just waiting for them to make their decision. I'm thinking about while I go silent and hear myself think. I just realized that my device I'm using here for streaming is very loud. The fans are like on full power, although there's really not much going on. A bit of streaming software, a bit of internet going on, and this browser app. So the microphone is actually pretty close to the fans. And I need to listen back to some of the prior streams and see if I can hear all of that noise. And if yes, then I think I want to think about changing the setup. But at the same time, I'm doing this here and I'm sitting here doing this because I would be playing these games anyway. And this is interesting what they're doing here. So I'm not going to block a 2. They're probably going to Rain Razor it and give it Go Again. Or they just have an absolutely terrible hand. I think they just have a terrible hand. Okay, in that case, so we have a four cards hand. So what can we do with this? I think putting on like threatening 10 damage with infecting shot and premeditate is probably good enough to get them to block again. I'd love to get to a point where we have a 5 card hand. So I'm wondering if I'm actually not playing these games correct. Like, should I, like, yeah. I think in a future game, I need to aim at having more 5 card hands, like they do. And that would certainly improve my game. Right, okay, so we have a Remorseless here now. So I think that's what I want to do here, right? So I'm going to play Premeditate. So there's I have quite a bit of I could play 2 Premeditates because I'm going to get Ponders. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So if it wasn't Premeditate where I get a Ponder, I probably wouldn't use Remorseless to play this arrow. And the reason being that I would be left with no cards in hand. Right? But because of these Premeditates, I am now able to get a Ponder token, which means I'm going to put something in Arsenal, which means I'm going to have a 5 card hand next turn. And I'm coming in for 11 damage, +2 from the Blood Rot, so this represents 13 damage, which brings them down to 1, which is significant. They can't ignore this. If I dominate my arrow then next turn, they're just dead. So they need to think about, they really need to block a lot here. I think this is actually a pretty good hand. And I could actually, I don't want to jinx it, but I could walk away here with a win on my first game on Azalea, which would be fantastic. I'd absolutely love that. That would be quite contrary to my experience playing the other heroes in this challenge. That's been going on for a little while now, where, just as a reminder, I'm playing every single hero that will not be Living Legends by the time the next ProQuest season turn comes around. That is the goal, because I want to get better at the game and I want to qualify for Pro Tour Amsterdam. And the way that I will do that is by knowing the heroes better than I did before. I have the issue today where I often don't know what to do when, because I don't know when I really need to worry about their attacks. And that's a problem, right? That is a big problem. So I'm going to keep this on top. I think I'm going to shoot. I'm going to just do drill shot, then give it go again, load red in the ledger, lace it with blood rot. And I think looking at this hand, it's like down on dirty, there's nothing, shouldn't be in this deck. I think this is solely here for Dromai, and I definitely should be taking that out for any consequent games that are not into Dromai. I really don't want that there. That's what happens when you just take a pile of cards and play it. But that's good to see that card is in the deck. That I don't want that card. That card makes no sense there. And I can't believe this game has gone so long. We're about 50 minutes into the stream and this is still the first game. But it's been a good learning experience. It's been pretty fun. Yeah, now saying it out loud, this has been fun. It's like I can see why people play this hero. And this reminds me, when I started playing Flesh and Blood about 2 years ago, and it has been that long, amazingly. There was this guy, and he just religiously played Azalea, and she was absolutely terrible. And he just kept playing it. Or he kept turning up to every armory, just playing Azalea. And sometimes he would absolutely wipe the floor with you, but most of the time, he'd just have a very bad game. And I admired that guy for, just playing the hero he likes, no matter how bad she was. But it must be feeling so nice when you play a hero for so long that was so bad, and then suddenly they're good. And I'm kind of going through that with Reiner at the moment. So I've been a Reiner main ever since I picked up the game. So for the longest time. Okay, we want to put that on Spring Tunic. As I said, I don't think they're going to elect to block with Skullbone unless absolutely necessary. Okay, so we're going to Death Dealer and put red in the ledger. No, crap, that's the wrong way around. I need to pay. So I'm going to down at 30. No, that was wrong. I should have used Tar Pit. But I'm not going to go back and do that again. It just is what it is now. Live with a mistake. But just to finish my thought, I hope I'm going through that with Reiner, where it's getting a lot more popularity. I don't think Reiner is good right now, but the meta until at least Icelander was got to living legend status, Reiner is a lot better in the meta. That is all changing now that Icelander is gone and Fi is making a big comeback. Like, that matchup is just atrocious for Reiner. It's absolutely terrible. Is it winnable? Yeah, but the odds are very, very much stacked in your not in your favor. So I'm kind of going through that, and I honestly, I have to admit, there's a little piece of me that goes, well, do I want that to happen? Because, you know, if you play a hero that is on paper not good and you lose games, you can always blame it on the hero. You can always say, well, I'm playing a hero that's just terrible. Like, it wasn't my fault. I played well. You know, my hero's bad. That's just it. But that kind of goes away when you have a hero which on paper suddenly is good. It's like, you don't have that excuse anymore. And if you don't have that excuse anymore, well, suddenly it's you who makes the difference, right? The hero is good, the meta is good for the hero. Suddenly, it's all on you. And you kind of have to show that you have what it takes, and there's no excuse anymore. So I kind of dread that, to be honest. I like that safety net, I guess. But you know, I'll continue playing Reiner, and I'll see what happens. I just need to elevate my game. I need to get better. It's definitely the goal, and you know, I want to get there. If I wanna get to the Pro Tour, I gotta play well. That's just fact. There's no ifs and buts. I have to play well, and I think I do have what it takes. Right? I make mistakes. I play too impulsive. There's things that I need to improve, like what I'm doing right here. But at the same time, I've beaten some very good players in the past, every now and then, so I know I can do it. And boys, for first game for Saturday morning, we got a win, which is actually quite amazing. It's actually quite amazing. All right, because it's the first game on this hero. It's the first game of the day. I barely had a coffee. I think I'm going to take a quick breather, get a second coffee. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back in a minute, and we'll take it from there. And I'm back. Round of applause for my first win of the day. Good, so we're back in the deck here. We'll just quickly take some notes for this game. How beautiful, just a green big bar here. Okay, so what are my takeaways here for this game? I think hands. Make sure to understand card mechanics of arrows, etc. I think one thing that I realized here in the last game, I didn't know that reload was going to trigger off bolt and shot in that situation. And there were a couple other situations where I forgot that if I play this card or that card, it's actually going to draw me a card. And suddenly I had a card more in my hand than I was expecting, which is, of course, is a happy surprise. But you want to know that that is going to happen, and you want to plan out your turn with that in mind. So if that kind of surprises you, then you're not in a good spot because that really means that you don't have a good grasp on what your deck is going to do. And if you're playing high level events, that means it's you're starting in a position of weakness when you play into a really strong hero. All right, so good. Okay, we're going to go to main menu here. We're going to see if there are any games in progress that we can join. There are plenty. So what do we... Let's see if we can create a game that we don't pick the hero that is going to play against us. The reason for that being is that I don't want to be biased choosing into which hero that I play. I just want the hero that we're given and see what we get and kind of deal with it. I often think that if you get to choose, a lot of people on Talishar will just choose a matchup that's really good for them. And so if we play into something that's hard, that's kind of where we want to be, right? We want to learn from it and we want to try and deal with that. All right, so it's another Azalea game. I think we want to go first because maybe we can dominate them. So just gonna invite them to chat. Uh, all right, so just typing that out quickly. So what do we say? I think last game, I don't know where those down and dirty came from, but I certainly, well, there's just one to be fair, but I really don't want that one. Okay, that needs to go for sure. I think the Command and Conquer is probably more Dromite tech, but it's also really good into Azalea. Like you just if you get a way to get rid of their card in Arsenal, that's really strong. Um, Maybe I want to take out the Tar Pit Trap and just go full aggro. I think I'm gonna take out the E-Strike. That doesn't really synergize all that well with all the arrows. That just gives me another card in my deck that potentially isn't an arrow, and I don't want that. Everything else I really like. So the question then is, all of this is good, and if everything is good, what do you take out? I don't know. I'll go with 70. I'll go with another pile, submit that, and see where we get. If you guys have any ideas what is best to take out here, then let me know. Um, I'm keen to learn. All right, so we have a withering shots. We what do we do here? So none of this is very threatening to them, I think. So the frailty token does something. The yeah, so we could give them 2 frailty tokens to start the game with. I think that's not terrible because I might not expect the Rain Razors turn 1, but I can't. I need to spend 1 for Death Dealer. So this is not ideal. At least it's not going to be a big attack, right? So I need to pay first. Okay, so that dealer, rain razors. I need to do it that way. Load this card. Okay, so yeah, let's pay Ravenous. I keep forgetting that her ability also you draw another card. Not her ability, but I mean Death Dealer. Sorry. Keep forgetting. So that they're going to take. That makes sense. And then I'm going to play a Seek and Destroy. And I'm going to play a Withering Shot. Like I could fully play this out. So that would be 6, 5 with the 11. But if they just fully block it, they couldn't actually. But if they could, then that leaves my second turn without a 5-card hand, and that's really not where I want to be with Azalea. Right, I wanna be able to utilize a full hand of cards. So let's see. They're playing quite a different deck. I think I played against them yesterday or the day before, and I noticed they're playing New Horizon, which is some spicy tech for sure. Alright, that's for 11. It's not Dominate. There are some detrimental effects here. So I can, if I want to block this, I kind of have to block everything. So I don't care that much about Seek and Destroy. I want to play out my hand anyway. But the red in the ledger is really what kind of kills the turn for me anyway. So I might as well just block this out. Or as much as I can. Let's put it that way. No, it is full block. It's full block. So my turn, I just pass, draw back up. The good thing is they're still at a 4-card hand because they played their full hand out. Okay, so damage can't be prevented. So that's 4. 4 with no on-hit effects, which are detrimental to me. So I don't really care about that. So I'll just take that. I think that's one thing that when you start new at Flesh and Blood, and you have 40 life, and you see attack coming to you that does nothing except damage, and there's no on-hit effect that you care about, you don't usually block that. Because it's just damage. Like, the thing that hurts your game plan is mostly those on-hit effects, like giving, another 2 life, and inertia, where you need to drop your whole hand after the turn. So this is Dominate. So at this point I'm thinking I could either block 3, but that weakens my hand. So I might as well just take it because it's going to hit anyway. There's no way I can block the 10. So I'm going to take it. Go to 26, 25. Yeah, because I take another damage through Searing Shot, right? So how do we play this? We play Lace with Frailty, Lace with Inertia. So no, Ravenous, Lace with Frailty, Lace with Inertia, Bolt and Shot, and then Codex. That's what I'm thinking here. And then we can, because Bolt and Shot is going to have additional, so do we have a 0-cost arrow here? No, but we can do, what we can do is either prepare next turn or play another Ravenous. So I'll have 4, and again, he takes it, that makes sense. I wouldn't block this, not with 36 life. And Azalea, like having a full card of hands is so important. So I'm going to play Lace with Frailty. So now comes the part where he starts caring a bit about it. Not sure if he's going to care enough. So good that we have the counter, because otherwise this turn would fall apart. Or be less strong, because I would have to use the card. So I would have to use Codex of Frailty to pay for that. Okay, yeah, I'll take a Premeditate. Sure. That's pretty ideal. And then Bolt and Shot has go again because it has more than its base. So that does 12. Sure, it doesn't matter. So where I think it doesn't matter from where I play this. No. I pass my turn. Right? So this has go again. Alright, so. Right, yeah. I accidentally passed that turn. So we play that. What else can we play? Doesn't matter. So if we think about that, we have 0 resources, so we need to get a 0 cost card. And Ravenous, there is a chance I'm going to take a yellow off the top. That there is. Although yeah. So the safe option then is to just play another Bolton shot because it's 4 and I know that it's 4. If I play anything, if I play the Ravenous, it could be a going down to a 3. I don't think the deck runs any red. Sorry, runs any blue. So I'm not in danger of bringing it down to 2, but okay, so I'm going to reorder this now. I'm going to take one of these ponders first. Okay, let me reorder this. First gonna get rid of the inertia, which means I can't have any cards in my hand. Then I'm going to get a ponder, that's a red. Then no, okay, so because I was hoping maybe I can get enough resources to play for the Rot, but that's fine. So Bolton Shot goes to Arsenal. I have a 5-card hand with another Codex. That's really good. They have 2 frailty, so their R is going to do 2 less because it comes from Arsenal. So it's with frailty. Okay, sure, I don't care, but this is a non-hit that I do care about, and that's a problem because that just means I can't play my hands. Well, I could, but it's basically a naked arrow. That's it. So is this is frailty, right? Yeah. So do I then just use my full hand to block out? I think so. Yeah, just block the 9. Not let any of that hit. They don't have a ponder token or anything like that, so they'll be back to a 4-card hand and I'll be back to a 5-card hand, which in my mind gives me a leg up. At the moment, even if I pass that turn, there are 16, I'm 23. On this turn, I could shoot a Bolton shot for 4, but I think I'm going to wait. I'm just going to pass, see what they do, see what I get, and then come with a full card. Full hands. Full hand of cards. There we go. Still working on that second coffee, so, forgive me. Just checking I'm audible, just making sure I'm not on mute like I was at the start of the stream. Okay, so 4. Again, just taking that. I think I'm still in a position where I can just take the damage of something that doesn't do anything to me. Okay, that's a problem though, because that's probably not a red in the ledger. Yeah. So now I just took 4 damage. And I'm back in the position where... And they have a ponder. So that was a very, very good hand for them. Because not only can they threaten 11 with an on-hit that I very much do care about, also they got a ponder. So that meaning they did 4 damage. They equalized the playing field a little bit. They are threatening an attack that I do care about, because if I can't give my cards go again, if I can only play 1 card, like my attack is going to really no go anywhere. And they put a card in Arsenal, which brings them up to a 5-card hand as well. So this is very bad for me. So that's 11. I can block 11. And I think because my attack is going to be so weak. Well, I'm wondering if I should just play the red in the ledger. So I block 5 for sure. So I take 6. Lace with inertia. So I'm going to be out of cards. Okay. So... Yeah, no. There's no point in taking damage here. I think anyway I turn this, there's really nothing good's gonna come from it. So I'm just gonna block out and hope for a better hand. Just gonna pass again. I hope they have a bit of a weaker hand this time around. They've been pressuring a lot. And there's another attack with 5. Go again. Actually, they shouldn't pick go again here. I would recommend that they take a card and do Snapdragon Scalers to get a card and continue with 4 cards in hand. it could be very devastating. Okay, so I don't care about that. Not yet. I didn't put it like that. I don't. Okay, another red in the ledger. So that's so we've seen that 3 turns in a row, right? I have to continue blocking this because there's really no point. It's like an arrow that I can do nothing. I can't pump it because I only have 1 action. I was like, okay. Alright, sure. So that's just 3. They're probably... Okay, red in the ledger. Okay. I think this turned around quite quickly. So red in the ledger again. Okay. Dude. That's what, 4 turns in a row now that we see red in the ledger? I am not a fan of yours, mate. That is not nice of you. Okay. Because I just have, the thing is, if he continues to be able to have cards that have go again, and then follow up with the red on the ledger that I need to block. So, okay, well, what are you doing? Did he realize that he's missing resources? Yeah, he might be a resource short here, right? Maybe he thought he had a Spring Tunic counter. Okay, right, so card revealed. This is an arsenal. It costs 1. That means he needs to use the card in arsenal. So, what do we do here? So I want to play Command and Conquer. That's my goal, right? So I'm still gonna let these 4 hit. We go to 10. That's 1 big dominated arrow away from being dead. And then he does red in the ledger, and that's 8. Alright, so I'm going to block for 6 and take the 2. And then I'm... but the Command and Conquer doesn't do anything. Because he has no cards. I focused too much on wanting to play the Command and Conquer and then didn't realize that he doesn't actually have something in arsenal that he cares about. Yeah, that's not good. That doesn't really do anything for me. Yeah, that puts me a bit at a loss of words here because I was focusing too much on it. I didn't even think about if they have something in arsenal or not, and if they have nothing in arsenal, then really what's the point? So that's 7, and remember, guys, he still has Snapdragon Scalers. So there's a good chance he's going to attack a second time after this. I think that's very much what's going to happen. Oh shit, it's only... crap. So I need to roll that back. I need to block this. Because it's going to give it go again for sure. And if I let it hit, he's just going to take it back into his hand. That's not a situation I want to have happen. So yeah, so he's going to give it go again. What else does he have? Okay. Okay. All right. And that means another red in the ledger. I can't do anything, right? It's like, I can't do anything. I was always preserving that card in arsenal, hoping that I could attack them back. But I just continuously was put in a position where I couldn't really move. They had all momentum, and I think they're very lucky that they were able to continue having that momentum. I'm just gonna play Bolt and Shot to just do 3. I mean, that's at this point they're probably going to just dominate and kill me. You know what happens? I'll get them down to 7 and hope for a YOLO turn. But a 5-card hand with me at 4. The reality here is that he's gonna push it very high. I need to continue blocking out. Okay, so giving Bolt and Shot go again. I mean, look at that. Look at that. That's kind of what you want to see from Azalea. I have to block here with everything I have. That's 10. 3 leaking. And then they're probably just going to finish me off. This is a very different experience to the first Azalea game that I had today, that I managed to win. What an amazing game from him. Yeah, just trying to figure out what. I mean, I'd love to get a hint here what else I could have done to potentially win this, but I don't really see with all this read in the ledger. Like, just shoot it, yeah, okay, and then? I mean, maybe it's right, right? Maybe I shoot it. I block with 3 cards every turn. I just shoot 1 arrow. I do a bit of chip damage, but at the same time, I leak damage so much faster. And I get into a territory where I lose the game anyway. It's like, yes, it would have changed the game a bit. Like, I don't wanna just dismiss it, right? So if he played a couple of, if I remember correctly, a couple of codex, I could have potentially put something in Arsenal myself. But yeah. I I get what he's saying. I get it. And I think I can definitely try that and see how that changes the game. But I don't think, if I shoot a naked arrow from Arsenal, I yeah, naked red in the ledger. Okay, if I get that situation, sure. I think, and I was thinking about that at the time, right? I was thinking, do I preserve this? Do I just shoot this? Uh, but at the time, yeah, yeah. I think it's a good it's good feedback. Let's take it on board. Let's put this here, and try and do that the next time. Take that one Arsenal out, play it, and see where it goes. Okay, so. No, when under pressure, open up Arsenal for another card, and if possible, shoot a naked. Take some tempo back. I think there's, thinking about it, and from the feedback that they're giving me, there would have been one opportunity where if I played it a bit different, maybe take a bit more damage, I would have had an opportunity to take some tempo back. And it just kind of goes to show that what you put in Arsenal and how long that's in there actually makes a lot of difference to the games that you play. And it's having a card in Arsenal which is kind of dead, then that kind of is a big is a big danger to your game. All right, we'll give him a round of applause. So well played, well played. So all right, let's take these out. We'll take the down and dirty out. I want to try a game where I take the. Well, it depends what we get, right? Let's not be over eager with taking cards out. I think the arrows, I need to be a bit more selective on what arrows that I play. Like, some of them matter, some don't. So let's take the battering bolt out as default. The 2 cost is very high. Let's take out the tar pit trap. It's not an arrow, it's not a buff. So it feels like that should be a sideboard option. We definitely want all the codex. We want all those push. So Searing Shot here is a one-off, so that feels like it should be sideboarded as well. but we'll keep it for now. Okay, so defense reaction, release attention. Yeah, if you're not running into a hero that uses defense reactions, I think that's not something you want to play either. So let's use this as a rudimentary sideboard for now. Happy Saturday to everyone. Thank you for being here today and watching me play Azalea. We're just going to go into the third game, probably ever. Although I have to say I might have played her once or so, I don't recall. I think the only ranger I ever played outside of Limited has been Riptide, which I did enjoy a lot, but didn't go well, so I abandoned that again. And just trying to learn more about how she works. And we have Fi. Right, so Fi, we definitely want to go first. There's a lot of 2 blocks. There is a big opportunity here to do some damage first. And they do want to go second though, probably because they want to gain tempo immediately. So I'm just trying to think about what I want to do here. Command and Conquer could be really good into him, because 5-card hands are especially strong in Fi. So I think I'm going to board that back in. The Tar-type trap doesn't really do much because they don't run a lot of on-hit effects. They don't have a lot of defense reactions, so I don't really care about that. I think all the inertia stuff needs to be in. I think that's going to be really good against them. The red and the ledger are going to be extremely good, I think. Seek and Destroy are going to be good. Deadeye is going to be good if I can get Deadeye to work. I think this works. I think this makes sense as a sideboard. Everything here. Yep, the only sideboard option here really is a 1 card for that pesky Arcane Barrier. Guys, if you like what I'm doing here, I'm going to continue playing this over the next few months, just playing 10 games of every single hero that I expect not to be Living Legend. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to qualify for Pro Tour. I'm just a scrub, and I need to learn more about how different heroes work. I've been 2 mono Reinhardt, 2 mono Brute, and I'm doing this so I can learn more about different heroes and how they play and anticipate their gameplay better. That's why I'm here. And I'm going to play all the heroes, so, you know, give me a follow if you enjoy the gameplay. I'll be here for a while. I keep playing different heroes. What I'll also do is I'll take on different challenges. You know, I'll happily play some jank that you link me. I want to do some challenges where I play some really weird decks, like maybe an all blue deck or a deck like Fi without weapons, and see if I can get a win. And, you know, maybe I'll raffle some stuff away at some point. If I reach a certain amount of followers or subscribers, I definitely want to raffle some cards away. I have some juicy legendaries that I don't need, that I want to raffle away at one point. So give me a follow, stick around, and see what good stuff I got coming up as I continue to improving the stream. By the way, forgot about this.
Round 1, fight!
Cool. All right, so actually, this is looking quite good. Let's do a Seek and Destroy. Let's do a Premeditate. And then we play a Bolden Shot. I think he needs to care. He needs to care. The problem is, like, does this trigger reload? If it hits, reload. Okay. I hope it hits. That is my hope, because if it hits, I can play a red in the ledger. And I can only have 1 action during the next turn. That's probably the worst thing that can happen to a Fi. They don't really want that at all. Because they want to go as wide as possible. That's how Fi plays. Especially with Mask of Momentum. They want to threaten that every turn. So they want to sequence 3 hits in a row. So, but yeah, the problem is all of these ninja cards, they block for 2, right? So he actually has a Soul Beat Strike that blocks for 3. And now they're thinking about, do they use their last... Well, here we are, full block. That's fine. I'll just put the red in the ledger in Arsenal and try and sit out their next turn and threaten it then. So with the Mask of Momentum, what you need to look out for is to make sure that every third hit doesn't hit, so Mask doesn't trigger. It doesn't trigger weapons. It needs to be an action. So what usually happens with FAB, you play Kodachi, an attack action card to threaten Mask Momentum. And something like FAB that can go pretty wide with their hero ability, where once they've played a lot of Draconic Chainlinks, they can get a Phoenix Flame from Arsenal, they can go extremely wide. And, you know, so they threaten Mask often twice per turn. The question here is, do I care? Right, so we'll usually you block the second Kodachi because that's for 1. And if they play a 4 here like they do now, I need to potentially sacrifice 2 cards. So I'm in a bit of a pickle here. I should have blocked that last one. Like at this point, I'm kind of committed. So this is going to hurt a lot. The reason is that I'm not going to block this. Am I not? No, I am. The reason why I'm blocking this is because if I don't block this, they're going to draw 2 cards. They're going to draw off Mask Momentum, they're going to draw off Snatch. Now, at the moment, they don't have Go again, but they're going to crack Snapdragon Scalers 100% if this hits. Because they basically have another 4 cards in hand. And this could be a killer turn to start off the game. And I want to avoid that. And honestly, I think red in the ledger is such a good card against them, they need to block it. Because going wide is their whole game. And having a card here that doesn't allow them to do it is like, it's so bad. Okay, I'm going to... So there's another red in the ledger at the top. Okay, so actually what we're going to do here is we're going to play this. And then we're going to... Are we going to Azalea? But that means I need to put a card to the... So put a card from your arsenal to the bottom of your deck. If you do put the top card of your deck face up into your arsenal, it's an arrow card against dominant. Yes. So we're going to do that because the reason we do that is because red in the ledger is now... It's another red in the ledger. And it now has dominate. So there's probably not a way on how they can prevent this from hitting. I mean, they have quite a bit of block still. So they can 3 block with their equipment and just a card from hand. And that's exactly what they're doing. But it needed a block, right? It needed a card, a 4-card hand from them. As I said, going in, I think FAB is probably one of the heroes that maximizes the use of a 5-card hand the most. And this is... Tiger Stripe Strukos represents 1 damage every turn. And like you might think, oh, what's 1 damage? It doesn't matter. But it's actually quite significant. If that adds up turn over turn over turn, like 1 damage is something that you care about. So just before I block that, I just want to think about what I'm going to do. So I'm going to let hit the first one. That's for sure. And then they are going to attack with the second one. And the question is... Oh, I clicked too fast. Well, that takes the decision out of my hand. So I'm going to load Withering Shot, Lace with Blood Rot, Rain Razors. Yeah, so this is a 3. So I could block with Spire Sniping. But then I'm missing a resource here. So I think I'm going to try and race him. Let's see if I can make that happen. Let's just race. I'm going to play only a 3-card hand next turn. I'm going to threaten 3, 5, 5, 10. and then put a Rain Razors in Arsenal, and then come for a big turn after that. This might be terrible, by the way. This might be a really bad decision, but I want to try it out and see what happens. Let's get some more coffee, because maybe, oh, hey, Burnt Milk. Thanks for the game, mate. You played really well. You had a really good game there, and I saw your advice. I think you have a very good point. I should have played that out, and I made a note of it, and I'll take that on board and try and do that better in one of the consecutive games. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the game. It was a lot of fun. I hope to play again sometime in the future. I think we will, because I've seen you multiple times now. I think we've played even yesterday. So I have full confidence we'll be playing again. Okay, so this for 3. Ooh, this is, I'm regretting this decision already. Okay. He has another one of these turns, and I'm basically out of the game. So what's my base case scenario? So I wanted this play with the blue. One of the few blues that I have. Put this as an arsenal. Okay. Right, so we can go quite wide here as well. Let's just play this. Then we can also see what's on the top of the deck. It is another one. Okay, so we could play... Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So it's like, I think maybe we Azalea and put that card there. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, I'm getting a block here. I like to see it. I think that's what we want. So we're just going to play the Lace with Bloodrot. Shoot a Withering Shot. So this gives him a Frailty, which is good. That eliminates the attack from the Kodachis, which means his turn is going to be pretty bad. hey, it's Saturday morning. We'll see how it goes. So they're going to take 2. Right, I'm going to let that hit. See, maybe they have a defense reaction, and if they do, Rain Razors wouldn't do anything. If they don't, and they let it hit, then they get a Frailty. They're going to get a Bloodrot. I can put this in Arsenal and prepare a 5-card hand. So, what do we have next? We have another Ravenous. Okay, so... Okay. Blaze Headlong. For 4. Naked, there's nothing else. So we'll just take that. Doing anything against that makes no sense. But they're at 33 life, right? So we need to be very careful here. They basically need one big turn, and that's my game over. Okay, so how do I sequence this? I think I'm going to just start with the Ravenous, because that gives me the option of knowing what's on the top of my deck, and that gives me more information to what information I have. Okay, that's 4. Okay, so they're gonna let that hit. Is that it? We'll see. So I'm going to then play Rain Razors because it's an instant, right? Rain Razors, pass. Then we're going to play Knock to Death Whistle. We're gonna put something at the top of my deck, which is gonna be a red and ledger. Okay. So, oh, all right. Actually, wait. I did that wrong. Sorry about that, mate. That's not how I'm supposed to do that. So this, put a red and a ledger on top. Then I put the Rain Razors there. I Azalea. Pass. Pass. Skullbone first. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. I'm not going to put an aim counter on it, so I actually going to use the Spring Tunic now. Going to lace that with Blood Rot. That might have been better to preserve that for the next turn, just thinking out loud about it. But this is going to be quite a good turn, I think. Yeah, so 10 dominate. With him only being able to have one action plus a Blood Rot. I think that definitely puts him... Okay, so that's good. Did not see a Reforce the line here. 2! Wait, so plus... Oh my god, he actually fully blocked it. What a hand! What a hand! Who would expect that? Oh, that is... I did not see that coming. That is... that puts me at loss of word. That deserves a round of applause. Oh my. Oh my. So let me think about my next turn. Wow. That was oh my god. I mean, I know that card and I play it as well. It's a good card. It's definitely a card that I play into Azalea as well on Rhinar. But that he has two in the same hand. I mean, you couldn't anticipate that, right? I think it's still a good way to, yeah. So 3. Okay, so what do we want to do here? So probably Codex of Frailty, Premeditate, Seek and Destroy, Codex of Frailty. So I need a resource though. So what do we... I don't know how to sequence this. I don't know if we're gonna have a good hand. Okay, let's block. The bad thing is that Red in the Ledger costs, right? So, and because it costs, and I don't have any resources, oh yeah, you're right. Okay, so, but if you put an arrow card from your hand, but I don't have an arrow card in my hand. Okay, all right. This is you're gonna scoff at what I'm doing here, but I still think, well, it costs. Okay, no, never mind. Okay, no, so I need to put this, and then I'm just gonna shoot this for 1. Okay, 5. All right. Not where I want to be in the game or in this turn. That last kind of completely killed what I want to do. But you know, I again, I think he has 3 block left in equipment, but that 2 block on Mask of Momentum is not something he wants to use at all. That's like a last resort. It's pretty integral to his strategy, and if he uses this one, it just takes so much power out of his turns. So he could block. He probably needs to block with 2 cards at least if he wants to block this from a hand. I'm guessing there's a lot of 2 blocks there, and then he can use Flamescale Furnace, but that would destroy that as well. But to be honest, Flamescale Furnace is probably in most cases just there for... It's just there for... Oh my god. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Well, it was 2 cards, right? So that's not terrible. So that's a 2 It's probably going to do 2 plus Kodachi Kodachi. What do we have here? We have a Remorseless in Arsenal. So that is pretty good, actually. I think I want to block here. Maybe. No, I won't block. I'll take the 2. Two is not a lot. Okay, so 3 go again. Let's take it. And then potentially block the last one. Or if it's going to Arsenal it, I'm just going to command and conquer him this turn. I'm at 15, he's at 27. I don't think I'm in a good spot in this game. But let's command and conquer him. Keep the buff with the arrow that we have in Arsenal. And it's certainly not a card he wants to see. There's probably a reason why he Arsenal has. Okay, now of course he has the 3 blocks. All right. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of arrows now. I was hoping I could get a bit more buffs. I think this is getting out of hand pretty quickly. So I could do Remorseless, Snapdragon Scalers, Premeditate, Bolt and Shot, Drill Shot? I don't know. Take the 1. Command and Conquer. So he has a Command and Conquer of his own. I was thinking about Pummel there for a second, but, you know, I don't think he's going to play Pummel. So, Remorseless. I want to block this, to be honest. And just Premeditate, Remorseless. And then I get a Ponder token. I have a 5-card hand to come back to him. Actually, I want to, you know, Skullbone, right? See what we have on the top of our deck. Maybe it's something spicy that we want to dominate. No, but I like this card. Actually, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm going to bottom it. Okay, so we're going to play Premeditate. I could play Bolt and Shot after this. If I use the Tunic counter. Yeah, let's do that. It's not great. It's not good, but it's, I don't know. It's still at 27. I shouldn't have. Yeah, no. It's not good. They still have way too much life. Like, if he were similar to my life total, then maybe. But not where we are in the game. But still, he's going to need to pay 1 life every time he plays a card. And the way that he plays, going as wide as he does, yeah, they can't fully use their full 5-card hand. Oh my god, by the way, I just realizing now what's going on in the back of that card. There's some weird stuff happening there. I'd never noticed that before. So they're going to take 8. I get a Ponder. Okay, so I'm going to put a Searing Shot. Not a Bolt and Shot in Arsenal. I'm not getting a lot of buffs. Like, I get way too many hands with a lot of arrows, I think. So that's not really helping me. So he could go full on white, but if he goes full on white, he's going to lose a life every time. Okay, that's an easy one. I'll take the 1. Maybe I just make sure here he doesn't get a Mask of Momentum. So this goes an action card. This is a reaction. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. All right, we're going big. All right, we're going big. And all of these cards that he's playing right now are not triggering the effect. Okay, still it's a 2 damage, right? 3 damage now. But if he wants to go big, like he can, and his thought is probably if he goes really big here, he just straight up ends the game and he doesn't really care about the life loss. It's a really good hand that he has, actually. I think it's a really good hand. So this is going to come in for 1. I think I'm going to block this. So what do I want to do on my turn? I want to bolt and shot, push that to go again, reload, and then a searing shot. So I don't really need this blue bolt and shot or the blue spire sniping, I think, if I'm doing that right in my head. So I'm going to block this 1. That'll delay his Mask of Momentum, at least by 2 cards. I might not be able to fully prevent it, but if I do anything this turn, I think I just want to prevent Mask from triggering. And I think I can do that. If I've... Okay, no, never mind. Okay, so... Play 2. Okay, I need to let that go. I can't immediately block again. Like, that is a really cool card for them to have right now. That's kind of ideal. Because it lets them... sorry, I lost my train of thought. It lets them... Oh my god. Threaten Mask, and at the same time it gets +1, so it's additional damage. So I think at this point I don't know what's next, and it might be something where I need 2 cards to block. So I need to block now, I think, because I don't know what's next. Now it's going to be Kodachi, and then another 2 cards. Okay, so yeah, that's for 4. I think I'm just... You know, honestly, I'm probably just dead here. I don't want to block this. Okay, so that goes. Kodachi for 1. Alright, I'll let that hit. And then they're just going to give me the coup de grace, right? That should be a 4. Ah, yeah, of course. Yeah, and I need to block that because otherwise it triggers Mask. I don't want that because then I'm dead for sure. And that's a Blaze Headlong for 5. Okay, if I let that hit, I'm dead. Right, so I need to block it as well. Brings me down to 1. And he has me in Kodachi locked right now, so... You know, it's... I think the game is over. Yeah, the game is over. I think he had that one turn at the start where I just took all the damage, and that was a mistake. So Burnt Milk was right. Should not have done that. I'll take Burnt Milk's advice after they won against me in an earlier game, and are probably much more experienced on her than I am. And yeah. So yeah, there's really nowhere to go here. So there's 10, 4-card hand. So it's just gonna do, well, okay, 5, draw a card. That's the move, right? Wipe off power. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, yeah. I need to block here. 3 and 3. Kodachi something. That'll be me dead. That'll be me dead. Oh, another one. So I'm not dead. I am dead because those are not 3 blocks. GG. Okay, cool. Now in a bit of an awkward position right now because, well, round of applause. I'm in a bit of an awkward position because I do need to go offline in about 15 minutes. I don't think that'll be enough to play another game. So what do I do with this time? So let me just take the notes here. I think the main note here is racing equals bad. I think that's the main takeaway here. So I've been playing with the thought of maybe introducing some other games and not just Flesh and Blood, but I don't think I've never tested it. I don't know if it works. I don't know what's going to happen if I bring that up on stream. So that makes no sense. I don't think I want to go into another game. I don't want to drop after a couple of minutes. And I need to be offline in about 10 minutes. So I think overall it probably just makes sense for me to drop now and just take a bit of time to get ready for whatever I need to do next. I'm sorry for the short stream today. It's not even a full 2 hours. I know my stream schedule says it's 3 hours. I do have a real life thing today that I need to deal with that I didn't really have any other way to schedule it than on a weekend. It happened to have to happen on a weekend. It's going to be me offline for about 2 to 3 hours. I think what I might do instead, because it wasn't a full stream, I'll come back later this afternoon and stream a few hours in the afternoon. I want to test that out anyway, how that feels. I've been only doing mornings on weekends, which I like. I like to get up early on weekends and stream early, be online early, get that out of the way, and then be an adult. But I think I want to turn it around. I'll be back this afternoon for 2 to 3 hours, see how that works out. So, thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate it. If you liked it, if you want to watch some more of me trying to play heroes and failing for the most part, then give me a follow. That would really help me. I think I'd really enjoy that as well. And just overall, thank you for being here. I wish you a great weekend if I don't see you later on. Thank you so much for being here. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.